Gentlemen, let me ask you something for a moment. Curious. Have you ever noticed that no matter how much effort you put in, she still doesn't quite reach that powerful moment you were hoping for? You might feel like you're doing everything correctly, yet something seems to be missing. She may say it felt good, but you can tell it didn't take her to that level where her whole body relaxes and melts with pleasure. Today, I'm going to share the missing piece with you. Excited. It isn't a gadget, it isn't a supplement, and it's definitely not some complicated trick that takes hours of practice. It's actually a very simple method backed by science. Once you understand how it works, it can help create the kind of intense, unforgettable experiences that make her see you differently and feel a deeper connection with you. The best part is that it has nothing to do with being born with special skills or having some natural talent that other men don't have. The real key is understanding how her body works, paying attention to her responses, and learning how to control your pacing in a way that most men never think about. When you start to approach intimacy with this mindset, everything changes. Welcome to Female Mind Psychology. I'm Dr. Narita, a urologist who has spent over 12 years helping men improve their performance, confidence, and the quality of their intimate relationships. In this video, I'm going to walk you through this concept step by step so you can truly understand how to apply it. Before we continue, I'm curious about something. Where in the world are you watching from? I always enjoy seeing men in their 40s, 50s, and even 60s joining this community from different countries. Go ahead and share your city in the comments, and while you're there, don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're interested in becoming the kind of man women talk about in a positive way when the doors are closed. Now let's address a common misconception. Many people believe that pleasure during oral intimacy is only about technique or speed. The idea is that if you simply copy what you've seen in movies or what you've heard from friends, it will automatically lead to an intense climax for her. But the truth is, that belief is misleading and often keeps men from understanding what actually makes the biggest difference. But here's something that rarely gets explained clearly. Most women don't respond to flashy tricks or speed the way many people assume. What truly makes the difference is time, rhythm, and the feeling of anticipation building little by little. Women's bodies react very differently compared to men's. While men often respond quickly to direct stimulation, a woman's arousal usually develops gradually, layer by layer. If you rush the process, you interrupt that natural buildup. But when you slow down and stay patient, that's when the real magic begins. One of the most powerful ways to create that buildup is through something known as the start-stop method, often referred to as edging. When used properly during intimate moments, it creates rising waves of anticipation and sensation that continue to grow stronger. Instead of rushing straight to the finish, the excitement builds again and again until it eventually leads to a far more intense and memorable release than most women usually experience. Curious. How do I know this approach actually works? Because I've witnessed the results both in research and in real life. During my 12 years working as a urologist, I've helped many men improve their confidence and connection with their partners. Some of them were in their 30s, others were well into their 70s. Many came in believing their age meant they could no longer truly satisfy a partner. But once they understood the importance of pacing, patience, and learning how to build anticipation using this method, everything changed. Size. Not only did their partners enjoy intimacy more, but the men themselves regained a level of confidence they hadn't felt in years. I remember one patient in particular. Let's call him Robert. He was 64 years old and came to see me feeling completely discouraged. He told me he always tried his best, but things never seemed to reach the point he hoped for. Either his partner lost interest, or he ran out of energy before she felt satisfied. After we talked about adjusting his approach and focusing on the start-stop method, he practiced it consistently. About 2 months later, he came back with a completely different attitude. He looked happier, more confident. Chuckles. He shared that his wife told him their time together had become the most enjoyable it had been in decades. That's why I speak about this with complete confidence. It isn't just theory or advice that sounds good in conversation. It produces real results for real people. Now let's break it down in a simple way. Curious. Think of it as a path toward mastering a skill, built on three important foundations that can transform your approach from ordinary to truly memorable. The first step is creating comfort and the right environment. If you're struggling to breathe properly, if your jaw starts hurting after just a few minutes, or if she's stuck in a position that feels awkward and unnatural, then neither of you will stay relaxed long enough for anything meaningful to develop. Comfort is the starting point for everything. From a biological point of view, arousal is similar to climbing a hill. It doesn't happen in one sudden jump. It rises gradually, and when you allow that process to unfold naturally, the experience becomes much more powerful for both partners. Curious. To understand why awareness improves intimacy, think of arousal like someone climbing toward the top of a hill. If the ground beneath their feet keeps shifting, they'll keep slipping and never reach the peak. The same idea applies here. When both of you feel physically comfortable and stable, it creates the steady foundation needed for the experience to build naturally. Size. A few practical adjustments can make a big difference. Placing a pillow under her hips slightly tilts the pelvis, which can increase sensitivity and make positioning easier for you. Make sure you're supported as well. If you're kneeling, a cushion under your knees will prevent strain. If the bed feels too high, you can guide her closer to the edge while you sit comfortably in a chair. Keep your jaw relaxed and loose instead of tensing it. Breathe slowly through your nose and settle into the moment. This isn't something meant to be rushed. Think of it more like a marathon than a sprint. There's also an emotional side to this. When she notices that you're relaxed, comfortable, and in control of the pace, it helps her let go of tension. That sense of safety and calm is incredibly important because relaxation is one of the key ingredients that allows arousal to grow. Now let's talk about the next stage, which is building excitement patiently. This is where many men make a common mistake: rushed. They rush straight to the most sensitive area and focus all their attention there right away, believing that intensity will speed things up. In reality, the body doesn't respond well to that approach. The clitoris alone contains more than 8,000 nerve endings, making it one of the most sensitive areas of the human body. Too much stimulation too quickly can feel overwhelming rather than pleasurable. Size. A better approach is to let anticipation grow gradually, similar to warming up an engine before pushing it to full power. When the buildup happens slowly, the experience becomes smoother and far more powerful. Start by focusing attention away from the most sensitive point. Gentle touches, soft kisses, and teasing along the inner thighs can be incredibly effective because that area is filled with nerve endings that help prepare the body for deeper arousal. From there, move slowly and playfully around the surrounding areas, using light, unhurried movements that create anticipation rather than rushing toward the goal. As things build, introduce a steady rhythm. Consistent, gentle movements can help create a pattern that the body begins to respond to. If it helps you maintain control, even mentally counting your pace can keep you from going too fast. The key is keeping everything slow, calm, and steady so the excitement continues to rise instead of peaking too early. Exhales. Emotionally, this gradual buildup sends a powerful message. It shows her that you're not rushing through the moment, that you genuinely want to enjoy every second with her. That alone can be deeply exciting. Whispers. On a practical level, it also helps you stay relaxed and maintain control of the pace instead of exhausting yourself too quickly. Now we reach the part where everything truly comes together. The real secret behind the start-stop approach is learning how to bring her very close to that intense moment, then easing back before she crosses it, and building the excitement again. Each time this cycle happens, the level of anticipation grows stronger. By the time she finally reaches that peak, the experience feels far more powerful than if everything had happened quickly. From a biological perspective, this works because the nervous system continues building higher levels of stimulation with each wave. Blood flow increases, the body becomes more sensitive, and the tension that builds throughout the muscles intensifies. On the emotional side, the anticipation itself becomes incredibly exciting. Excited. It's similar to the difference between casually sipping water and finally taking a drink when you've been thirsty for a long time. The sense of relief and pleasure becomes much more memorable. Timing is important here. Pay attention to the signals her body gives you. You might notice her breathing becoming quicker, her thighs tightening, her stomach muscles tensing, or her hands gripping the sheets. Whispers. When you sense that she's very close to crossing that line, that's your moment to slow down and pull back slightly. Shift your focus for a short time, maybe with gentle kisses along her thighs or stomach, or simply giving her a moment tai. Breathe and relax. Around 20 to 30 seconds is usually enough before you begin again. When you return, repeat the same rhythm and pattern that was working before. Let the excitement build again. Doing this 2 or 3 times can dramatically increase the intensity of the final moment. Size. When you reach the last buildup, keep everything exactly the same and allow the momentum to carry her naturally to that peak. You can also use your hands to support what you're doing. Gentle touch and coordination between your hands and mouth can help maintain rhythm and keep the experience balanced. And it's always helpful to check in subtly by asking simple, reassuring questions, like whether the pressure or position feels right. Even a short check-in can make her feel comfortable, safe, and more connected in the moment. Size. To put this into practice, start by preparing the space so both of you are comfortable. Arrange pillows if needed, breathe steadily, and make sure you're in a position that allows you to stay relaxed for a while. Take your time with the build-up and spend longer there than you might normally expect. Whispers. Anticipation is a major part of arousal. When the moment feels right, guide her close to the edge, pause briefly, and then begin building again. Repeating that cycle a few times can turn an ordinary experience into something far more intense and unforgettable. If you apply these 3 ideas consistently, you move from being someone who is simply trying to someone who truly knows how to create a memorable experience. Some of you might be thinking right now, "That sounds great, but I'm older now. My stamina isn't what it used to be." Reassuring. Let me reassure you about something important. Getting older doesn't mean losing your ability to satisfy a partner. In fact, many women openly say that men in their 50s or 60s often become better lovers than younger men. The reason is simple. With age comes patience. Older men are usually less rushed, more attentive, and more focused on the overall experience rather than racing toward the finish. That mindset makes a big emotional difference. When a woman feels that you are taking your time and truly paying attention to her responses, she feels appreciated and valued. That sense of safety and care allows her body to relax and respond more, and naturally. From a biological standpoint, you don't need the stamina of someone in their 20s. What really matters is steady pacing and consistency, and those qualities don't disappear with age. Thoughtful. Here's the honest truth. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to be younger, wealthier, or physically stronger to create powerful moments of connection. What matters most is understanding how her body responds, respecting the natural rhythm of arousal, and giving her the patience and attention she often wishes for, but rarely experiences. The start-stop approach is not just a technique. It's really about being present in the moment. It shows that you are someone who listens, notices the small signals, and feels confident enough not to rush the experience. That kind of calm confidence can be incredibly attractive. Pause. So the next time you share an intimate moment, try approaching it this way. Begin by creating a comfortable setting where both of you can relax. Take your time building anticipation slowly instead of rushing forward. Bring the excitement close to the edge, pause, let the tension settle for a moment, and then build again. After a couple of cycles, allow the moment to unfold naturally. Pay attention to what happens afterward, not just physically but emotionally. Often the most powerful change is in the way she looks at you once the moment is over. That's when you realize you've given her something meaningful and rare. Curious. If you found this conversation helpful, support Female Mind Psychology by liking the video, subscribing, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Type Stop below if you're ready to explore a deeper level of connection and confidence. And I'm curious about something. What is one thing you wish you had understood about women and intimacy 20 years earlier? Remember, you're not past your prime, and you're certainly not too late to improve. Encouraging small changes in awareness and patience can create comfort, confidence, and connection that last for years. I'm Dr. Narita from Female Mind Psychology, and I'll see you in the next video.